Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Whispers Racing podcast. I might have to rename this Maddie's podcast after last week. As always, I'm joined by Maddie. How are you, Maddie?
Going well, Worm. How are you, mate?
Yeah, going well. Yep. Just reading off social media that Hipwood's been offered a 6-year deal through Brisbane. So I think I'm going to have to offer you 6-year deal of naming rights of this podcast.
Well, all we can do is put forward winners and make sure the community collects. And luckily, last week there were a few of those. Vegas Night, the place was nice. I think it ended up paying about $6 a place. And Ungawa, which I thought was maybe a bit speculative, but definitely showed its class first up.
Yeah, 100%. I was going to say, we do this for free, and Hipwood gets paid millions to run around like a spud. So it's you can't compare the two. At least someone's a winner and the other one's not. Everyone can work out who the winner is. But last week, mate, you put on a performance. Ungawa off the trials. It snuck under the radar because I didn't really see it until it came. We backed the horse on Friday. Out of that jump out, and I said, well, if this wins, which it did, Ungawa's got to be a better $11. And funny enough, you shot the lights out with that, and then Vegas Night, like $5 the place. What the hell were they thinking?
Absolutely, and it was a really solid run. Unfortunately, I think it just got to the lead a little too early. What I mean, a little too early, probably 2,000 meters too early. But apart from that, it held on exceptionally well, and I thought it was almost a chance of fighting back for second. Not that it mattered because we were on it for a place. So no, Vegas Night. I think it's probably one just to watch for potentially your country cups next year. But yeah, Ungawa, we've had it in the portfolio for quite a long time, and it's one that we'll continue to watch.
Yeah, just unfortunately for Vegas Night, the leaders just couldn't take him any further. They just thought it was a 1,200 meter race. He looked on at the 300, and he fought back well. But yeah, definitely country cups. It's a good point you make there. He's definitely one to follow, especially under the guidance of Nick Ryan, who just these tried horses, he finds them another level somehow.
No, definitely. It has not run a bad race since Nick took it over.
No, that's right, and barely any of his horses don't run a poor race. So I said it last week, I reckon that he's a camp that I'd love to give a horse to if I was looking to buy a horse. Because just the reports I get are just through the roof of how well he communicates and how well he tells his owners when to have a bet.
Absolutely. Most importantly as well, good trainers always do that.
Yeah, that's it. Good old-fashioned setup, which is always good for an owner. So we started with a positive. We're going to talk about the Northerly. It bloody hurt. Look, you could say the barrier got it beat, but he walked out of the barriers, which he's starting to do now. But I still reckon he was going to be good enough. And then they just went that slow tempo, ridiculous tempo up front. But J-Mac tried his best to get him into the race, and then he was forced to the widest of anyone. I think his run was really good. No disrespect to the winner. The winner was exceptional. I don't know about Amelia's Jaw. I'd love to know your thoughts where you think it's going to be, Matty.
Well, look, I was hoping I'd come across to Victoria and we'd be able to see it race over here. Looks like the thought process is to take it to Sydney and running in, which diamond was it?
The Golden Spread Eagle.
Eagle, yes. So, look, it'll be interesting to see the path that it does take. Look, Cascadian, we were both on it. I thought it was it was a fair run, and realistically, the last 400 meters was unbelievable. But the race pattern certainly didn't suit, and it definitely did suit Amelia's Jewel. But I'm not taking anything away from this. This is a 3-year-old up against hardened horses, and it won convincingly. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what it does, and a call out to the community who were literally all over Amelia's Jewel. But yeah, any of those punters who were on Cascadian that we said would buy a slab, the slab is still sitting there for you.
I'm still broke. Look, I'm not going to disrespect the winner at all. 3-year-old against some, good horses. If Cascadian runs second, I think it's a really good win, but he only just beat Ironclad with a 9-kilo difference. I know she's going to improve. She's a mare that will go to another level. Probably will win most races next prep, but I'm not going to buy in like everyone else did after the race. What just concerns me is what Western Empire did in our spring and stunk it up. Now, beat Cascadian.
That's a fair call.
Yeah, so I'm reserved. I'm not going to bag it and lay it or anything, but I'm not jumping on like everyone did post race and like most of the community. It'd be interesting. It'd be good to see how she does come back. She does go to the pop-up race in April in Perth, and then she goes to the Golden Eagle in the spring, so we won't see her at all.
It'll be disappointing, but you know what it is? It's good for racing having a quality horse to look forward to next carnival.
Yep. If the pop-up races weren't there, she goes to the Cox Plate, but maybe we have to fly up to Sydney to go see her because we won't see her until a long, long time, I don't reckon. Pineapple, I move over. Talking points this week. I found a couple here. We've got a few. It's a bit of last week as well. I see during the week that the 4-day carnival was the lowest crowd in 30 years. Yes, we spoke about this last week. They do need to do something different, but I didn't think it was that bad to what I've just seen. The lowest crowd in 30 years. Yes, I'm going to take weather into account, but in 30 years, that's poor. They're going to have to do something drastically, I reckon. They can't have another year like that. Thoughts?
Lowest in 30 years.
Yeah, I heard that on RSN on Monday.
Oh, look, it's hard to measure. We've just gone through a global pandemic where people were locked in their houses buying cool down for 2 years. So it's hard to measure in terms of going from 100,000 people per day down to, I'd imagine, an average around about 60,000 per day. Yep. It's a big drop-off.
It is. I think it's alarming because they can't just think it's going to pick up and go back to those post-2000s where it was 100,000 one day and all that. Hopefully they've got their thinking caps on and, they've got to do something. And I don't think pushing it back is the idea.
Look, and I remember when you and I used to be going to the races, call it 10 years ago, it was aspirational to be at certain parts of the racetrack. Yep. I think it's lost a lot of that emphasis on the exclusiveness. So I think you're right. They do need to put the thinking caps on and really understand what these new consumers want when they go to the races.
Yeah, and look, and Cox Plate Day, they had to have a lower crowd because of their renovation. So we're not taking that into account at all because they got a sellout of, I think, just under 15,000. So they sold their tickets. So something's working and some things aren't. So, it's up to them to, they've got to do something. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. Obviously, boosting prize money during the week for the owners and the horses and the jockeys and the trainers. Great to see. But how about you get GA and all that sorted before you start doing that? Because they're the ones that pay for most of this. Second talking point, Team Williams, it's been pretty kept quiet this and has closed Madison Lodge facility for a second time. So Their remaining horses will go to Gay Waterhouse, the Hayes team, and Chris Lee's stable in Sydney. I did find it interesting that I couldn't find Robert Hickmont with any of those horses where he was the previous trainer during the spring. So, in saying that, though, that was probably one of their worst springs for Team Williams. So, it doesn't surprise me that it's closing, but I'm a bit shocked that Hickmont didn't get any. Thoughts, Matty?
I'm quite shocked by this, and when you mentioned this first up, that's enormous news. The lodge is closed.
Well, they didn't bring any internationals out. And their crop that is in Australia went like an absolute busted. I think they only had one win for the whole spring, and that was Serpentine in the Derby Day. Point and Apeen didn't come up from autumn. King of the Castle not going as well. Balani, they just had a really bad spring.
Well, this crew were just groundbreakers in the Melbourne Cup. So, look, interesting to see that eventuate, and I wonder if there's a bigger story involved, just from a cash flow perspective.
They did try and sell it back in the autumn, I think, or start of the year. So I just wonder if, they've got a buyer, so they're going to shut up shop.
No, one to watch.
Yeah, sad, but doesn't surprise me with how bad they are going. Matty, you wanted to talk about Happy Valley.
Happy Valley, yeah. We had the International Jockeys Championship on last night, which was amazing to see. They put on a ripping show. If anyone has had the chance to head across to Hong Kong and Happy Valley, it's definitely a race that you'd be putting onto the bucket list if you haven't got across there before. They put on a ripping show last night. Interesting, though. James McDonald, do you reckon he won a race over there, Sammy?
No, I know the answer to this. It's 0.
What about Zach Purton?
I knew this one. It was 0.
Jamie Carr?
She had 1 in the last, I reckon.
One a little bit earlier. Jamie got up. But really interesting to see that Zach and James weren't able to salute over there. I would have thought, especially given a few of their rides, they would have been able to lift a trophy last night over in Happy Valley. But good to see Jamie, who's heading across to Ascot in very, very fine form, and she will be featuring in a few of my reviews coming up.
Might be in fine form off the track too in Hong Kong.
Oh, mate, please.
I continue on the Happy Valley theme. I see Law of Indices is over there for the Hong Kong Mile, going up against Golden 60. It'd be interesting to see how it goes against it. I'm not saying it can beat Golden 60, but just how far off it is off Golden 60. He's a bubble horse, as a few people say, only beats up what is in Hong Kong, and that's fine. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Laws of Indices go. It's a 20-1 horse over here in our Group 1s.
Yeah, look, it will be. I think they've got a nice little race meet coming up this Sunday, so it'll be good to sit back, and the cricket will be on as well, unless it's already over, which it probably will be. But we'll settle in and watch some of the Hong Kong racing. And as you mentioned, I would imagine Golden 60 will be well and truly favourite in that race.
Yeah, and I think it's California Spangle as well in the race, who took it to Golden 60 a couple of starts ago, I think, last start as well. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it goes, Laws of Indices. That'll get my eye in and just see where we are at as middle distance races down here. World Cup, you wanted to speak about that, Matty?
Now, I'm not one of these punters who went on to bet R and just dumped on Brazil like the rest of the population. But instead, I had a few bets, and I got 2 live, and they're both playing against each other.
Yep.
So I've got 1 through to the semi-finals. So not a bad position to be in, and we will take that. But you, Sammy.
Who did you take?
I've got Netherlands,
Yeah, okay.
and I've just had a mental blank. Who are they playing? One moment.
Oh, it's on the tip. I know who everyone else is playing except them.
Argentina. Messi.
That's it.
Lionel. Yes. So I've got those two going with Betar at the hundreds. But yourself,
Yeah,
you've jumped on the bandwagon. And
Yeah.
did you receive an email during the week?
Firstly, I jumped on Brazil because I've got no fucking idea about soccer.
Yep.
I do watch it, but I could not name a player except Neymar Jr. Other than so he's the only Brazilian I know. Does Ronaldo still play?
Absolutely. For Portugal.
No, Brazil won.
Oh yes, no. If you saw him up in the stands, you'd understand why he's not playing.
Oh, okay. Well, Van Nistelrooy, does he play for Netherlands still?
He does, yes. Rudy's still going around.
So that's how much I knew back in the soccer a couple of years ago, not 10 years ago, which I followed back then. Now I don't. But yeah, I jumped on Brazil, and funny enough, my first cash out I received for them was 300.
Okay.
That was a week ago. And then funny enough,
for a $10 bet?
For a $10 bet, someone would take
30
it.
30 to 1. Okay.
And then I got another one saying 400.
All right.
So they're shitting bricks and wanting people to cash out, or I don't know what their thinking is. But if you're offering a cash out, you've got to be shitting bricks.
Oh, you've just got a $40 winner.
Yeah, technically. But then also one of the other guys in the community, he only got offered $100 for France.
Which will be interesting because you would imagine the winner out of France and England is going to be playing Brazil in the final.
Yeah, 100% off my knowledge and all the data I use off the soccer. Yeah, definitely England or France on that side of the table. Obviously Portugal, I've heard good things about them. I've heard they've got a star player that walks off the pitch after the game when they win because he sooks up. But
yes, indeed. But no, it'll be an interesting weekend, and looking forward to the next couple of weeks worth of the World Cup.
Yeah, I'm definitely buying into soccer now because I've got my $10 bet riding, and be nothing better to get that $10 back that I lost on Duval Legend in the Melbourne Cup.
Oh wow! Yes, indeed.
So track stats and trial trackers this week.
Sorry, mate. We just spent 25 minutes talking about other things. Do we have racing this weekend?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we have some really good racing at Sandown. I'm gonna preview race 4 at Sandown. We'll try to. Maddie's going to do race 7 at Ascot. There's going to be bets around the grounds, and this pineapple is an absolute doozer. I think we might talk about that for another 50 minutes afterwards. But yeah, so Sandown this week, Hillside Rail True. It was 11 meters on Wednesday. Every horse gets their chance at the Hillside, but I'm going to be looking for horses just off the rail and down the middle, but on speed. So it's a bit of tactics here. The rail at Hillside is always off for some reason. So lanes 4 to 7, but on speed. But every horse will get their chance. It's just me. I'm going to look for horses on speed. Trial trackers. We're going to go with a horse that we mentioned ages ago back in the day. We put it in the multi and it cost us our multi. Surprise. Back in 25th of June. Sandown Race 3, number 3, No Drama. He's had a jump out since, and it's win at Bendigo. He went super and went better than a Corner Pocket in its jump out. And we know how Corner Pocket went last week at Pakenham. But looking at the jump out, this horse is ready to rock and roll. Third up, peak fitness. Barrier 1, a slight concern, but I think this horse will be winning. Yes, it lost by a nostril at the 25th of June at Morphettville, and I'm still bleeding when it got beaten. But yeah, should be winning race 3, number 3, No Drama. We'll move over to, Sandown Race 4. Yeah, I'm going to preview this. The odds. We've got the favourite here. Artika, $3.30. Number 8, Tasman Park, $4.80. Number 4, Beretta, $6.50. 9, Astrata, $7. Oceana Blue, $11. And then you can have $13 the rest. Keen to be here with number 10 here, Artika. Last start was 3 wide, no cover, sitting on speed, and did really well to only go down by 0.9. Out of that race, there's been 9 runners since, 3 winners, 2 placings. So clearly that's a form race. 2 starts ago, sustained a long run to win at Maui, where you need to be on speed at that track. So that's another big tick, winning as well. So this prep's been really good. And from barrier 5, I think they can camp right behind the leaders. I gave this horse a big rap in March at Flemington, where it SP'd $6 against Barb Raider. Artika, hopefully it can bring its form from when we liked it back in March. And that day it had heart regulations, SP'd $6, beaten 30 lengths. But yeah, I think there's something good about this horse, and benchmark 70, 1,600 meters. I think it's the right time for it. Number 4 here, Beretta. It's one of the main dangers. I'm really worried about its map, though, from barrier 10. Gets a huge jockey upgrade with Laura Lafferty to Craig Williams, but I feel they'll need to go back, and they might be giving the leaders a big head start. Last prep, this horse SP'd $3 against Uncle Bryn. Well, we know how that horse has gone. That day, Beretta had its tongue over the bit. Complete excuse. I think you got to respect the $3 SP against Uncle Bryn that day at sale. So if you like it, I'm not going to talk you out of it, but it's just the map that is my only little concern. Number 8, Tasman Park. He's been good. 2 wins so far from his 2 starts. I'm just a bit worried about his map as well. He'll be further back than his first 2 previous starts. He's been sitting 3rd and 4th. He's probably going to be 6th, 7th, 3 wide with a bit of cover. But looking at his last run, he was 1,300 meters lakeside. He wasn't screaming to me. He wants 1,600. So I'm keen to take him on. Number 9 here, Strata. He was huge first up, being 3 wide, no cover at Sandown Lakeside. Second up is a worry for me. But looking back at last prep, he SP'd 310 against Rapid Achiever and 550 against Detonator Jack, who is $1.95 in the next race, and only went down by 3.6 against Detonator Jack and beat Rapid Achiever. So respect those SPs, but keen to be here with number 10, Artika. Matty.
Yeah, I like that. Well, I was going to ask you about Australia. I really enjoyed its last start, where I thought it was really solid. But 18 starts, 3 wins, 2 seconds, 3 thirds, really consistent. But you do look at your pick, number 10, 7 starts for the 3 wins. So nice strike rate, pardon me. The other part I picked up was just in terms of the weights, it's very even across this race.
Yep.
But Kika is rated 71, second best in the field, but down in the weight. Can you just explain that one for us?
It's probably Mare against the Geldings.
Yep.
But only getting 0.5. Yeah, getting a little bit of weight allowance. I would have thought a bit more, especially. It's obviously off their rating because Oceana Blue's got 57, 1 kilo less, and he's only 2 points under Artika. She's carrying a little bit here, but I just think it's a good horse. I think it's better than benchmark 70. To SP against $6 against Barb Raider. On that day, it was you had to lead to win. So, I just think it's $3.50 is probably the right price now. That's bottom, no more than 3, no worse than 3. So, might get the blows a little bit at the 350, but I just think it's a nice horse.
Very good.
2406. WhatsApp, guys. Just as it's, if get in contact with either of us, if you want to join the community, we had a few join this week. So it's good to get them on board. They've had a winning week, so that's a good way for them to start. You get our thoughts on metro races and maiden races through me, and anytime you want to ask a question or even post a bet, you can get involved, as it is a community. It's not just one-way traffic. It's been a really good month for the community, especially in the maidens. We've won last month and we're winning so far of the month of December. So strike while the iron's hot. Special shout out to Grant Shepherd, who last week reached out on one of our platforms, giving us great feedback. So Grant, we say thank you to you. And as I say, in each and every week, this is free, no paywalls. We do this because we love the punt, and more importantly, we love finding winners. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel, any podcast platform, so you can get the episodes as they drop. Please share, retweet, swipe left to our shows or channel, as we want to grow this show as much as we can. Yeah, I can't say any more about that, but join.
No, absolutely. And just remember, we do record this, generally speaking, on a Thursday night. There are a lot more bets put up on a Saturday afternoon, not just by us, but by the community. But look, last weekend we did find a few late in the afternoon. I know we found, I think it was Trade War over in Ascot.
I'm gonna stop you. You said we.
Okay.
Look, just get the shoulders out, mate. Walk, start prancing like a peacock. You found winners at Pakenham and Ascot. So talk us through it.
Oh, we got off the mark with Trade War, paying a nice $5. We followed it up by Mega Zone, which was $10, $11, depending on when you did jump on board. We headed up to Rose Hill and we found I Am Me. Now, it was only paying $1.40, but by the time we actually sent that message out, it was around about $1.80. So very respectable. So look, all I mean by that is it's not just what we give on the podcast. The community are full of absolute winners. And generally speaking, once we put one out there, there is heavy support for it. And it's very nice cheering on a winner with the rest of the community.
Yeah, just except the Northerly Stakes, where a lot of us went head to head against each other. But no,
Absolutely.
we found winners at Stall, we found winners at Pakenham, we found winners at Ascot. So yeah, there's plenty of winners to be found, guys. And the best thing about it, it's everyone's community. It's not just our community. We don't troll it. There's no rules. It's just about a bit of banter, a bit of fun, and plenty of winners. And there's been plenty flying around of late.
And I'm not going to let you off the hook just there, mate, because you found a very nice one today. Can you just talk us through the one at Warrnambool?
Yeah, Rich Paris, jump lead win. It's scary when you're sitting at work and you're 250 out to 320 and you're going, shit, have I got it wrong? What have I missed? There's heavy support for another horse, and that went like an absolute busted, and we pissed in and won by 2.5, 3 with a jump jockey on.
Very easy watch.
Yeah, and that's the thing, guys. Like, grab what I send out. You don't have to back them individually. You can multi up with whatever you like. And a couple of guys did that today. Multied up with Wednesdays. One of their someone sent out a tip for Forbidden City, and two of them multied them up. And two guys had a nice little fill up. Matty, race Ascot. You want to preview? Race 7.
Yes, we will head across to Perth. Just while I'm bringing that up, have you got the odds in front of you for race number 7?
Yeah, give me 10 seconds and I'll be with you. So race 7 is a 72 plus handicap. Here we go. There must be something good here if you're diving in this race. The favourite here...
golf handicap, yes.
Oh, yeah, it didn't come up here. Okay. Favourite, Alsfina, $2.70. Number 4, Above the Peg, $4.40. Number 11, Casino, 17, $9.50. 9, Soliar, $9. 10, Try For Us, $9. And $12 plus the rest.
So even though there are 12 in this race, I don't necessarily think it's that deep. So we'll preview 4 of them here, and I'm not going to be looking any further than these 4. So first of all, one that we did back for the community and we just mentioned was Mega Zone, and I've got it rated 4th in this race. And again, it's one that you're getting a good $12 for, similar to what I paid last weekend. Well and truly overs at $12. Now, it was a last start winner from barrier number 5 here. It's going to get a very similar run, and I think it's going to be around the mark. I'm not necessarily going to say it's going to be winning this, but it should be in the consideration set. Soleil. Now, again, another one that had a solid run in a different race against Dom de Shoot and also above the peg. What I like about this is it's the one in the race that I potentially see has the upside. And again, you're looking at a horse that is paying around about $10. Jamie Carr jumps on board. And again, you're looking at that potential upside. So Soleil from barrier number 9, it'll get some cover. It'll probably follow a horse like Big Batter Boom from barrier number 12. It'll follow it across and probably sitting around about 5th in the run. And I think it's one that, again, will be coming under consideration. Worm above the peg. Last start, don't know how it did win. Dom de Shoot got it down the outside. And from barrier number 2, it looks exceptionally hard to run down here. I think it will be probably sitting behind a horse like That's Funny As. So I see That's Funny As and Big Batter Boom heading to the lead above the peg from barrier number 2, just slotting in, getting some cover. And I do see it being exceptionally hard to beat. I've got it rated second in this race. Now, it was a very, very even toss-up between above the peg and the one I've got on top being Try For Us. Forgive its last start. Now, it wasn't travelling exceptionally well, but then it got squeezed around about the 100-metre mark and almost lost the rider. So what I would say about Try For Us is this time around, we haven't got a Mitsubishi Magna sitting on board. We do have a decent jockey. We don't have, was it Jai? Was it Jai on board last start, Worm?
No, Taj Dyson.
Taj Dyson, okay. Call out to his parents, Taj. Yes. And look, I think if we can forget its start, again, another one at that $10 mark, it needs to have serious consideration. Now, in terms of these 4 horses, I found 2 of them hard to split. Try For Us and Above the Peg. I had those 2 as probably the standouts within the race. Outside of those 4, there's not too much else that I really want to give too much consideration to. So I'm quite happy to have Try For Us on top and a little bit above the peg. So I'll be having one bet in this race, and it will be Try For Us. We'll see how the markets play. And if above the peg does drift a bit, that might be a second play. But they're the 2 that I do like within this one, Worm. How did you see it?
Yeah, it's I agree with you with Try For Us. I only lost last week because I was on it and I didn't back Megazone. So there's the there was the clue there. But look, same race here. Okay, it's a 72 plus race. That was a 66 last week, but it's been 420. You got to respect that. You can't, like, it was unlucky. It was wide without cover, as you said. Checked late. Yeah, it wasn't going to win, but yeah, the distance beaten 3.95. It wasn't going to be that margin. Yeah, crowded at the 50. And one little note here, and you half mentioned it about Taj Dyson being off. So positive jockey on, and the note says does best when Clinton Johnson Porter rides. So that's a tick for me. He goes on.
Wouldn't mind your notebook.
What's that?
Wouldn't mind your notebook. Where are you finding this?
Yeah, racenet.com.
Very good. Well
along the free stuff that they have, just a little side notes. If I don't know much about the horses, I like to get on and they leave little video notes. But yeah, above the peg, yeah, can see why you've put that second. You've mentioned the weight differential, 2.5 kilos when they last met 2 starts ago. Try For Us had a barrier 10 that day. We get now 4. Above the peg had pretty much the same barrier as 2 starts ago to this. So yeah, I can see why you landed on it at $9. Hello. That's good enough for me.
Like it. No, again, like as I said, like it's not a deep race. I think there's 4 considerations in here, and yeah, look, I think Try for Us is a good bet.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I'm looking forward to. Might have to set my alarm for that one because I could be in bed by then. But nah.
Well, you're getting up at 2 a.m. for the soccer.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. Around the grounds, I'll kick things off because mine's on a Friday. So if you're listening to this Thursday night as it drops or early Friday morning to work, you're going to get some good mail here. Friday, Moe, race 1, number 7, Tora Nova. 2 starts ago ran on against the bias. Sorry, the last 2 starts it's run on against the bias, and it gets the perfect map to sit real close here. Most of his dangers are coming out of the same race at Bendigo. And most of them either have a sticky barrier or they're back markers. We're going to be on pace. I'm hoping we will be from the good barrier. Plus, they are up 1,600 up to 2,000. That's a negative for me. We've had our one start at 2,000, so peak fitness, ready to go. Definitely 1x3 play. I'm going more the place than the win. $10 and 260. I'd suggest you wait because you're going to get around $3 the place come race time because they're going to back everything out of that Bendigo run. So then we move over to race 2, number 4 at Moe, Free Wheeler. 2 starts ago was held up, hit the line well. Last start, had to go wide. And on a track, you had to be on speed at Kyneton. So died on its run the last 50. Today, peak fitness, 3rd up, barrier 1, can sit behind the leader or lead. Whatever it wants to do, it's going to run a good race. Its main rivals are either first up or first starters. We are 3rd up. Clear fitness edge on this lot. Again, 1x3, but going heavy the place at $2.80 is silly odds. So that's Moe race 1, number 7. Moe race 2, number 4. Matty, what are you doing with your around the grounds?
Just taking some notes. So I've got Free Wheeler in race 2 and Torrenova in race 1. Okay, good.
And if you're part of the community, you would have got that earlier today.
Probably should join. We'll be going Ascot, race number 8. Mate, similar to race 7, there's 4 horses that I don't mind here. We've landed on 2. It'll be a 2-bet strategy. And the 4 I don't mind. Number 2, Buster Bash. Number 4, Stafford's Lad. Number 5, Alaskan's God. And number 12, Pure Devotion. Now, the 2 that I've actually landed on here, not the favourite Alaskan God, I've got it running similar numbers to a Buster Bash. But the 2 that I've got as standouts here, Stafford's Lad and also Pure Devotion. They're the 2 that I'm going to be playing. Pure Devotion at $5 and Stafford's Lad at $14. You have to be a little bit forgiving of Stafford's Lad, but we know that the talented horses you have to have some forgiveness for. We saw that in the Winterbottom, and I'm suggesting you may see it here as well. Jamie Carr jumps on board Stafford's Lad, and I see that as exceptional upside. The other one, Pure Devotion. Now, it wasn't the race for it last start. There was the map plus also the pace in the race did not load. So at $5, they're going to be my 2 plays in race number 8, Stafford's Lad and Pure Devotion.
Stafford's Lad, just reading some notes here. Strong final 200, last start beaten 6 lengths, but they're saying strong final 200. Respect that. Perth Cup. So it might be one to watch for the Perth Cup, Stafford's Lad.
Yeah, I'd say Pure Devotion is absolutely the same. Look, Stafford's Lad has a load of ability. I don't know what happened last start. It's just it got way too far back. As you mentioned, the last 200 was exceptional. I'm hoping Jamie Carr can sit a little bit closer than what they did last start. And then Pure Devotion, again, the map just did not read right for it. Last start finished, I think, 5th or 6th. And here, I think he's just significantly better suited. It's not as competitive a race. And at $5, I'd be well and truly looking to find out. So yeah, Pure Devotion and Stafford's Lad at $5 and $14 respectively.
Yeah, 100% like it. Alaskan God, I can see why we discussed this for a while in the pre-show. Like $2, I can see why it's $2. Do I want to take $2? Probably not, but I can see why it is. Coming out of the railway, coming out of the Northerly, WA Derby winner. It's probably looking for the Perth Cup Jan 1st, but yeah, I'm with you with Stafford's Lad because he's going to be in front of Alaskan God during the race. And Jamie,
look at the $14. I just think it's more based on its last two starts than its actual potential.
I wonder if Jamie Carr's flying from Hong Kong just to ride this.
I did tell you that Jamie's in fine form, riding winners in Hong Kong, straight across to Ascot. You had to make a couple of slight comments about Hong Kong and Jamie, but we'll leave that.
Yeah, B&B. Multi-time. Matty, what are you going to chuck in your multi?
I'm going to keep it pretty consistent. We are going to go with Try For Us, the place, and Stafford's Lad, the place. A little bit of value there. So hopefully we can go 4 from 4 this week, Worm.
Yeah, well, I've downgraded. I've decided to take a pick out because I can't even get 2. So I thought if I keep it simple, if I can get 1, I'm ticking a box.
Jeez. What does the end of the year come to?
Yeah. Well, we started off with the philosopher, and we've made him get sold by the end of the year. So
at least they didn't retire him.
No, not yet. Only when I back him. In my multi, I'm going to chuck in the Cunning Fox. That's race 7, Sandown. I'm going to chuck it in the place. It's $1.70 at the moment. I think he's peaking for this. Third up, like that. 2000 is going to be his go-ish a bit later. He was 2 lengths off Allegron in April this year. If he can run anywhere near that over 1,800, he should be winning at $1.75. So that's the Cunning Fox, the place. Try For Us in Ascot, the place. Stanford Lad, the place in Ascot. Comes to $17, 3-leg multi. More importantly, Matty, the pineapple of the week. Where are we going?
Yours this week, isn't it?
No, there's times where you look at it and you go, I shouldn't say this, but I'm so glad Cascadia lost after looking at this field because dead set, I've got no idea what I would pick. So I'm interested to see where you're going.
Well, mate, we went to Sandown and we both agreed that the fields there are exceptionally even. Randwick, I don't know what horses have actually got running up there. Eagle Farm wasn't too much better, and I think we just had to stick with Ascot. So we're gonna go with one that we've already mentioned, and it will be Try For Us. Now, in race 7, we mentioned Try For Us and also Above the Peg.
Yeah,
I think the swings in this race definitely suit Try For Us much better than Above the Peg. As we mentioned, we don't have the Mitsubishi on board. We do have a quality jockey. And what was the commentary that you read out about, Clint?
CJP goes on. This horse produces its best when this jockey's on.
Okay, important to note. 2.5 kilos better off than last time. It meant Above the Peg, and we're definitely having a crack with the pineapple at a $10 chance here. But I'll tell you what, I thought it would run a lot better than what it did last week, but confident it will get the chocolates here. So Worm, pineapple on, Above the Peg at 10s.
Try For Us.
Sorry, Try For Us.
So that's race 7, Ascot, number 10, Try For Us.
Try For Us at 10s.
Wowee, that gets up. I'm looking for a new podcast.
Yeah, not a bad way to close out the year, and yeah,
fucking oath, mate. If you're seeing $9 winners as a pineapple, my God, this is great.
Have we had any bigger pineapples?
No, we average around the $3-4 mark. So,
Okay.
yeah, well, yeah. And by the way, you can go each way, guys. If you're not as confident, Matty's chucked it in the multi, so you can go the place, but no guts, no glory. We'll be going the win. I did try and say take it the place, but you quickly
Not going
knocked
to
me
happen.
on there. I think you almost punched me through the screen we were working off here because of my suggestion. But yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
you
like
quickly
it.
put a helmet on.
Anything else to add, Matty?
No, mate. Look, it's an interesting race meet. So again, probably for the punters out there, tread with caution at a few of these tracks. I think, especially in Melbourne, very even racing. Some nice races over at Ascot, and from there, we'll definitely be keeping an eye on Sydney, and also we've got a couple of the community members who are very active over in South Australia, and hopefully they'll be able to point us in the right direction.
It's easily, you can easily shut off and go, I'm not betting for 2-3 weeks, but you're leading up to Magic Millions now. So you got to keep an eye on a few of these horses. They're always good fields. Got to find which ones are going around. I think there's one going around on Saturday that I've heard someone's keen on. So I'm keen to dive into the 2-year-old races in Sydney so you can get my thoughts in the community for that. But yeah, at Sandown, like normally this time of year, it's easy pickings. You can easily pick 2-3 off and get some, get your coin and leave. But geez, it's not bad racing. It's just very bloody even at Sandown. And I'm a sicko, so I'm probably going to go out there Saturday and try and find 9 winners, or as some people say in the community, 9 second placings. So yeah, if you see me out there, come and say hello. Matty will buy you a beer.
Well, we do know from our experiences with the Worm in the Mountain Yard, it definitely does just take you to another level. So hopefully you do get out there, and Saturday will be an exceptional day.
Yeah, it's an edge that you can get in the Mounting Yard, but you can listen to .com. They're pretty good now as well. There's a lot of other tools that I've seen, like Neds and Ladbrokes have their own little yard comments as well, 5 minutes before the race. So you're looking for an edge, jump on one of those, or just come join the community and have some bloody fun. That's it for this week. We'll be back next week for benchmark racing and leading up to the new year, Boxing Day, all that sort of stuff. Probably preview the next round of World Cup. Is it still on after the next week?
Yes, mate. It goes for another 3 months.
So yeah, get that. Yeah, you know what to do, guys. Sorry, I'm absolutely rattled when you said 3 months. I thought, hang on, what the hell's going on? Hopefully you fill your pockets up, guys. More importantly, I hope we fill your pockets up, and we'll see you next week for benchmark racing, and we'll just sign off with our lovely man each week.
I'm not a good person, but it just goes to show that good things do happen to bad people. So anyone out there who's up against the wall, fucking stick to it. Every cent you got, your rent, your electricity bill, if you're going to buy your missus a ring, don't fucking do it. Keep punting. Keep fucking punting.